Hello guys, good morning everyone. Well, at least it is good morning for me because I'm recording this in the morning. So yeah, as I promised, I was going to do a recording for you on geometrical constructions. So that's exactly what I'm going to do today. So just before that, I'm just going to show you the compass that I have. So this is my compass. Okay. So what I have advised you to get is a compass with a sharp point as like this. Okay, compared to another compass, this one came together with the Oxford Geometrical set, and so as you can see, this compass has a very short point, right? Can you see that? Okay, I think you can see it from further. So yeah, the point is very short, and this case the point is long. Okay, this has a longer point, which means that you are able to make a more accurate drawing with the geometrical construction set. And you also want to use a 2B pencil. Okay, this pencil is not a 2B pencil. This one comes together with the geometrical construction set. It's not a 2B pencil, therefore when you draw with this, it's not going to be very dark. Alright, and the one that I got, the pencil is mine of course, and you want to get a shorter pencil, maybe something that's similar in length with your compass. You don't want to get a pencil that is too long because then it will be harder for you to draw, right? And this is the compass that I got. I think I got this from NSK if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So this is the one, it only came with the compass. So that's the one that I got here. Okay. Alright, so you want to make sure that your pencil is tightened as tight as possible. And you also want to make sure that the screw at the top here is tight. It's not loose, it's not moving. And every time you draw, you must always make sure that you're only holding this side of the compass. Never hold the part that has the pencil. Never hold on both sides. Okay, never touch the part that has the pencil. You either hold on this end, or if you need help, then you can hold at the top. Okay, you can hold at the top to help you. Okay, so we're gonna start with our first geometrical construction. So our first geometrical construction talks about constructing a line segment. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to construct a line segment. So there's nothing given in the answer space, which means I have to do everything from scratch. I have to construct a line segment with a length of 6 centimeters using only a ruler and a pair of compasses. So what I want to do is I want to first draw a line approximately. As you can see on the ruler, the line should be approximately something more than 6 centimeters. And then I want to make a point. I want to mark a point on my line. And because it's MN, so I want to mark M as one of my points. And then I want to use my ruler. And I want to measure 6 centimeters. So putting your compass on 0. You want to open up your compass so that it comes to 6 centimeters in length. And once you do that, you don't put your compass down. Don't do this. Okay, you have, every time you put your compass down, you need to check if your measurements are still the same. Now make sure it's 6 cm, and then go to M. Make sure your point falls at M exactly, and make a mark on your line like this. So that mark here is N. Okay, and this is 6 centimeters in length. Just to be sure, double check if your measurements are indeed 6 centimeters, and you can see it is. Okay, next we want to draw a perpendicular bisector. Now perpendicular bisectors are lines that make a 90-degree angle. We want to draw a perpendicular bisector of line PQ using only ruler and a pair of compass. So what I want to do is, now they've given me a line that's labeled P and Q, but there are no points given. Of course the point is right at the end, but I usually prefer to make the points on my own. So this is P and Q. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to place my compass on 2P, okay, and then this is my full length of the line. If I'm going to measure the line, this is my full length of the line. So what I want to do is, I want to make sure that, okay, this is approximately half of the line, right? So this is approximately half, and this is my full length. So when you want to draw a perpendicular bisector, you don't want to go lesser than half, okay? You don't want to go lesser than half, because then it won't work. So you don't want to go directly at half as well. But what you want to do is, you want to make sure your length is at least 3/4 of the size of the length. So make sure your compass is more than half of the line. Okay, so if this is half of the line, you want to make sure your compass is slightly more than half. So 3/4 of the line, and you want to make a mark at the top like this, and then you want to make another mark at the bottom. Okay, and then without putting your compass down, you want to change sides. As you can see, I'm not touching the part that has the pencil. Do not touch the part that has the pencil. If you need help, hold at the if you need help, hold the one at the top, and yeah, cross and cross. Okay, so mine is going slightly out of the line, but that's okay, no harm done. And I'm going to draw, I'm going to connect these 2 points, and yeah, and now when you measure with your protractor, you will find that this is exactly 90 degrees, okay, the size of the angle. Alright, so this is a 90-degree angle, and this is a perpendicular bisector of line PQ. And now I'm going to draw a perpendicular bisector, but this time my line is a little bit diagonal. I mean, it's diagonal, so but the concept is still the same. I'm going to mark my 2 points on A and B, okay, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to B. I'm going to make sure my compass is slightly more than half. I'm going to make a mark at the top, and I'm going to make another mark. I can turn my page a little bit, no harm. Turn your page if you need help. And then I'm going to go to A. I'm turning my page, and I'm crossing the mark. And as you can see, I am not touching the part that has the pencil at all. Okay, never touch this part when you're doing your drawing. Never touch the part that has the pencil. If you need help, hold here. Okay, now I've made my 2 marks, the arc. This is called an arc, and this is the reason why you want to make sure that your compass is slightly more than half. Now let me show you, if my compass was lesser than half, what would it be? If my compass was lesser than half, I would have made 1 mark over here, and then when I go to A, I wouldn't have reached the other mark. Both my marks, the marks that I made, both wouldn't have crossed each other. This is what happens if you draw a line that is not more than half. Okay, if you draw a line that's not more than half, then that's what will happen. Your arcs will not cross each other, and that's what you don't want. So I'm just going to erase this off. Alright, and then I'm going to join the 2 arcs together, and I get a perpendicular bisector. Always measure your angles, your measurements, just to see if it's exactly 90 degrees, and it is. So this is how you draw a straight line and a perpendicular bisector. So now what I'm going to show you is how to draw a perpendicular bisector that passes through a certain point. Now I cannot tell you how often this question comes out in exam. It's very often, and it's one of the most favorite questions in exam, right? So you really have to know how to do this. What's the difference between this question and the earlier question? This question is asking you to draw a perpendicular bisector, but this time you are passing through a certain point. That means you want to draw a perpendicular bisector that passes through point M. So whenever they say it's passing through a point, this is where you want to start with. Okay, you want to start with the point, meaning that you want to place your compass on the point like this, and you want to open up your compass big enough that you can make a mark onto the line that's given. So I want to make a mark, one mark over here, and I want to make another mark over here. Some students would like to do a whole curve. Okay, you can do a whole curve as well. I usually don't like to make a whole curve because I don't need the whole curve. I only need the 2 points on each side, which means that I prefer to just draw what I need. Okay, so what happens, I have to make sure that I am still in the right points. Okay, now I want to draw an arc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my point over here. Make sure this is half of my distance from this mark to this mark. This is approximately half, right? So this is approximately half. I want to make sure my compass is slightly more than half, like this. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a mark here. Now you can see I'm holding at the top, I'm not holding the sides. And I'm going to switch my compass, place it on the other side, being very careful all the time not to touch the pencil. And I'm going to cross this arc. Okay, once I do this, now I'm going to start from M and I'm going to connect it to the arc that I just drew. And now this is a perpendicular bisector that passes through point M, and just to be sure, point M, not M. Okay, so this is a 90-degree line, and so I made sure that my point is passed through, and it is a perpendicular bisector. Now here the point is this side. Same thing, if they want you to move from a certain point, what you want to do is you want to start from the point. So I'm going to put my compass on the point. Okay, and I want to make sure that my compass is long enough so that I can make a mark on this side of the line, and I can make another mark on the other side. I need 2 marks. I need 2 points on the line, and then I'm going to go to the point that I created. The reason you made the points is to use them, so straight away go to the point and make sure you use them. I want to make sure my compass is slightly more than half from the distance between the 2 points, and even because this distance is so short, I can use the full distance also, no problem. I'm going to make one arc over here, and now I'm going to go to the other side and I'm going to cross the arc like this. Okay, and then I'm going to, from the arc, I'm going to place my pencil here with my ruler, join it to M, and I want to draw a perpendicular bisector until point M, maybe slightly past M as well, to show that it's passing through. And this is a 90-degree line, and when I measure with my protractor, it is indeed a 90-degree perpendicular bisector, as you can see, right? And then now look at this. Now my M is at the line itself. So how do I draw a perpendicular bisector when the point is on the line itself? Same concept, guys. It's the same concept. You start with the point. So you start by placing your compass on the point, on M itself, and you make a mark. Now you see my mark is outside of the line, no problem, just do it first, just make the 2 marks, no issues. Okay, then all I have to do is make this line longer. Now when you're making a line longer, you don't go to the end and make the line longer, because then you might make a crooked line. So you don't want a crooked line. To ensure your line is a straight line, you want to follow the original line first, and then just lengthen the line a little bit. Or you could have made your compass a bit shorter, but sometimes when it's too short, it's a bit harder to handle the compass. So I just prefer making my line longer. That's not an issue. Now I'm going to go to the points that I created. So you can see that my compass is only half the distance. It's only until M. So I want to make sure that it passes point M a little bit. And then I want to make a mark at the top and a mark at the bottom. And then I go to the other end and I cross the arc on both sides, right? and then I use my ruler and I cross the 2 points, and I make sure that I have a perpendicular bisector and my angle is exactly 90 degrees. Okay guys, so I will continue this video in the next one because I don't want the video to be too long. So I hope this was useful for you. Maybe you can practice this first before you see the next video. Bye.